First of all, just welcome to everybody, and I'll start out. It's the first time I've had a chance to say something publicly about Ken O'Keefe. Just want to take this opportunity, much like Norm, when Norm retired in December. I just want to say thanks to Ken, for all that he's done for us here. He's just a tremendous football coach. He's been an outstanding teacher and a really strong leader in this program, and that's something I'm really very, very appreciative of. He's just done a tremendous job, absolutely tremendous job, and like losing Norm too. I just can't say how grateful I am to what they've done, and how lucky I feel like we've been here to have consistent leadership here for 13 years at those two positions. So it's part of football. Change is part of football. Whether guys retire, Norm retired, Carl a couple of years ago, and or guys moving on to opportunities. Going back to our first year, Pat Flaherty, who coached in the Super Bowl the other day, offensive line coach with the Giants, left us after the '99 season. Obviously, Joe Philbin has transitioned into a pretty good position, and Ron Aiken, and now Ken. So, those are great opportunities. It was a tough decision for Ken. I don't want to speak for Ken, but one of those things he had to weigh and measure, and again, can't say how appreciative I am personally. I think everybody involved in the program is appreciative. I know they are. Of what he's done for our program and how he's helped our success. Regarding the defensive staff, the first thing I'll say is we just had a lot of tremendous options. I feel really fortunate there, and I've always felt like coaching here, if you do things and take your time a little bit and look around a little bit, I think there's always going to be great options available. We had plenty of them, certainly, both externally, and I think we had a couple options internally that really look good. And I took my time on this thing, but really the conclusion I came up to is that Phil, I think right now is the best fit for our program at this given point. Certainly Phil has proven himself, through the years, 13 years here, and I think it was 13 at Toledo also, as being an outstanding position coach. Over the last several years, he's had two opportunities to go to BCS schools, one which was a top 10 ranked team the past couple of years. They entertained offers to him to become coordinator, and he chose to stay here, which I'm appreciative of. But that's not the reason I hired him, just because I think he'll do an outstanding job in that role. It's about as simple as that. And obviously, I think also we're going to get great support from the defensive staff, like Norman has enjoyed for the last 13 years. On that note, Daryl's going to shift over to the secondary position. And, Daryl, like Phil, has done a great job here. He's been an outstanding linebacker coach for us, done a great job with special teams, great job recruiting. And, I can't say enough about what he's done. And he's assuming a very important role. Coaching the secondary is extremely important. We got to have a great person there. I think we've got that in Daryl, very, very confident. It's in his background. He'll do a great job there. And I think also it's going to allow Phil to roam a little bit and oversee things a little bit more, which is certainly critical. And then moving up front, with Reese Morgan, same thing. I would just tell you the same thing about Reese. He's a tremendous teacher. He's been an outstanding coach. He was an outstanding coach at Benton Community, outstanding job at West High, two places where he hadn't had a lot of success, and he brought that same expertise to our program back after, I believe it was when Pat left. So, he's done a great job. To me, he's done a great job building players, helping them develop and improve. You just have to look at last year's group to, I think, verify that you'll get guys like Zusevics and Geddes came in here as 225-pound kids out of high school. Look at Riley Reef, who came in here as a defensive end who ended up transitioning over to offense. It sounds like Riley's going to be a pretty high pick in the coming draft. Marcus and Adam are going to be drafted too. All three of those guys are going to the combine, and you're down the line. But that's a pretty good snapshot, I think, of the kind of work that Reese does. I'm really comfortable that he'll do a great job with the transition over. We went through the same process when Ron Aiken left. We took Rick, who was an offensive line GA, and moved him over. Rick did a great job, and I think you could argue, with Reese's wealth of knowledge and background, I think it's safe to assume he can do the same kind of job and maybe more so. So I'm really excited about that as well. And, obviously you can't play good defense without a good front. It's the same way on offense, and so I'm really excited about that, and I think Reese is too. Obviously we got 3 spots to fill right now, and it's really no different than what we've been doing the last month or so. To me the key thing is getting the right people, and the calendar is important to some degree, but what's more important, I think, we get the right people in place for this program, for this team. And you know, the good news is we're not playing until September 1st, so you know, we've got some time here. It's important, but it's certainly not critical. I think what's critical is getting the right people here, and that's the approach we'll take moving forward. You know, obviously, with our football team, you know, we flipped the calendar back on January 1st. It was tough to lose in the bowl game. Never much fun. I can't remember having a good feeling coming out of a bowl game after a loss. I think our guys played hard and competed, but you know, it's not as much fun certainly when you come up short, and that's what happened there. So, yeah, we all turned the page back on January 1st. It's 2012 now, and our focus has been on recruiting. I think the staff did a great job there. Our players got back here right after Martin Luther King Day and began the out-of-season program, strength conditioning work, and they're doing a great job there and off to a good start academically. And it's exciting now with the staff back on campus. This is our second week back off the road. It's just good to be back around the players, interfacing with them, and having a chance to sit down and visit with them and just you know, talk about expectations, talk about goals, those types of things, which is always the most enjoyable part about coaching. So, yeah, we're all excited to push forward. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do right now. We have adjusted the spring schedule just slightly. We're going to start a couple days later. We'll start that on a Saturday, Sunday. I believe it's the 24th, 25th, I believe, and push the conclusion of spring ball back a week. I think that'll be advantageous for us. And outside of that, not a lot different in that front. So, you know, those days will come quick, and we'll look forward to that. And then the last part, just as Chris mentioned, we'll try to make the coordinators available certainly before spring practice starts, and also plan on not only the other two new hires being available to everybody, but you know, probably the entire staff, because you know, we do have guys in different seats right now. So over the course of spring practice, I'll try to make sure everybody gets a chance to visit with you and you know, just answer any questions you may have. So with that, I'll throw it out.